Criminal defense lawyers. These professionals are the shield between you and the power of the government. Whether it's a local misdemeanor or a federal felony, a criminal defense lawyer represents individuals and organizations charged with crimes. Their work starts long before a judge enters the room. From the moment you're under investigation, they are there to ensure your Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment rights aren't trampled on. They spend hours reviewing police reports for errors, interviewing witnesses who might have a different story, and negotiating with prosecutors.
Corporate lawyers. Often working behind the scenes for massive businesses, corporate lawyers are the architects of the business world. They rarely see the inside of a courtroom because their entire job is to prevent lawsuits from ever happening. They handle the complexities of running a company, ensuring that every transaction, from a small supply order to a multi-billion-dollar merger, complies with local and international regulations. They draft internal employment policies, oversee mergers and acquisitions where one company buys another, and act as strategic advisors to CEOs. If a company is a ship, the corporate lawyer is the one checking the hull for leaks every single day. They navigate the risks of global trade, taxes, and intellectual property to keep the ship from sinking in a sea of litigation.
Family lawyers. This field focuses on the most personal part of the law, human relationships. A family lawyer manages the details of divorce, child custody arrangements, and prenuptial agreements. They also handle sensitive cases like adoptions or legal guardianships for vulnerable adults. Because the emotions in these cases are usually through the roof, these lawyers have to be part strategist and part mediator. They aim for a calm, objective approach to reach a settlement, but they must be ready to fight in court if a parent's rights or a child's safety is at stake.
Personal injury lawyer. When someone is hurt because a person or a company was reckless, they call a personal injury lawyer. Most of these cases involve car accidents, medical malpractice, or workplace injuries. The most unique thing here is that they work on a contingency basis. That's a fancy way of saying they typically only get paid if you win. They spend their time gathering medical records, reconstructing accident scenes, and wrestling with insurance companies that want to pay out as little as possible for your hospital bills and lost wages.
Intellectual property lawyer. These experts protect the creations of the mind. In our world of viral media and tech startups, IP lawyers are more important than ever. They file patents for new inventions, trademarks for brand names, and copyrights for music or literature. They also handle infringement cases, which is what happens when someone tries to steal your design or your trade secret.
Got you!
They bridge the gap between innovation and law. If you've got $1 million idea, an IP lawyer is the one who puts a digital lock on it so no one else can cash your check.
Estate planning lawyer. An estate planning lawyer helps people organize their affairs for when they pass away. They draft wills, set up trusts, and establish powers of attorney, which decides who makes decisions for you if you become unable to speak for yourself. This isn't just for the wealthy. It involves critical decisions about who will care for minor children and how to avoid probate court, a long, expensive process where the state decides what happens to your stuff.
Immigration lawyer. Navigating the path to residency or citizenship is one of the most complex legal hurdles in existence. Immigration lawyers assist with visa applications, green cards, and asylum requests. They act as a shield in deportation proceedings, ensuring that administrative errors or unfair treatment don't tear families apart. Their role is deeply connected to human rights, often helping workers find legal employment and helping families reunite across borders.
Environmental lawyer. These specialists focus on the regulations that protect the natural world and public health. They work with government agencies like the EPA, nonprofits, and corporations to ensure compliance with clean air and water standards. Some focus on holding massive polluters accountable for destroying ecosystems, while others work to clear the legal path for renewable energy projects like wind farms and solar arrays. Real estate lawyer. Every major property deal involves a mountain of paperwork. Real estate lawyers handle the legal side of buying or selling land. They perform title searches to make sure there are no hidden deaths or ownership disputes attached to the property. They also help developers navigate zoning laws, which dictate what you can and can't build in certain areas, and draft commercial leases for office buildings and retail spaces. Tax lawyer. The Internal Revenue Code is thousands of pages long, and it changes almost every year. Tax lawyers help individuals and businesses manage their relationship with the IRS. They provide guidance on how to structure transactions to minimize tax liability and represent clients during audits or disputes. When you're dealing with international income, large estates, or corporate restructuring, you don't want to guess. A tax lawyer ensures you stay in compliance so you don't end up with a bill or a prison sentence you didn't see coming.
Case closed. I'm not your lawyer, but subscribing for a get-out-of-jail-free card seems like a pretty good bargain.